Hello and welcome to another Arkis video and to what is for me round 2 on this new time trial on Gran Turismo 7, where we are at Dragon Trail Seaside. We are in the Corvette ZR1 and we are on sports hard tires. And I did my first impressions run on a live stream. I will link that on the screen or in the description. And I could see after my first run that I was already 2 seconds off pace, and I knew that the times would be coming down even further. And sure enough, when I got back home in the evening, Jetta had been on as well, was in the 52s. I was 2.5 seconds off pace, more than 2.5 seconds off pace, and I needed to find some more speed in this car. So this is some of the highlights from the evening and finally my best attempt so far. And let's get straight into it, but before we do that, if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. And now let's get into the time trialing. So this is Thursday evening. I am on my other EMEA account. My best attempt in the live stream in the morning was a 55.5, a high 55.5. And you can see now I'm getting close to match my time. I've been driving for 50 kilometers, still took me some time to get back into this car, and this is a rather scary run through the chicane. The car goes all wobbly over the curbs there, but we got down to a 55.288, so that was me beating my best time so far, and now I am almost getting into the 154s. But on the following lap, and now I've been driving for 80 kilometers roughly, we are going to get into the 154s. But after I got this time I'm about to get in a moment, I got completely stuck and ended up driving for another 150 kilometers or so, maybe even more, without getting anywhere. So I was about to give up. Now let's just survive the chicane. As mentioned, I was about to give up for the evening, but then I decided to give it another shot.
2,000 years later.
And you can see the odometer has reset on my car. I had actually left it, but then I thought, no, just one final run for the evening. And then it started to work out. Let's have a look at some brake references. The first one is the 200 board, but in hindsight I can see you can use that wall as soon as that disappears, because you need to brake shortly after the 200 board. So that's another reference. Down to second gear, trying to clip that inside, but don't cut too much of that curb, that will unsettle the car. Short shifting up to third gear to get a more stable car out of that part of the track. And here we are just going to lift and cut as much as you can and make sure the car doesn't jump. You can see you've got some red stuff, some sandy stuff, and where that ends you need to get on the brakes. Down to second gear, letting the car coast in, getting the car stabilized so you can get back on the power and up the hill. And now we've usually got a barrier on the left hand side, but here we need to use the barrier on the right hand side, which is earlier. This is a road car. And here really be careful when you are lifting off the brake. If you're coming off the brake too abruptly, the car will snap and get a lot of oversteer. And you can see I am up to fourth gear again now, trying to just get a clean run out of this section and use as much as you dare of that curb there. And now we're coming down the hill and we've got the 200 board again. That is the reference, and we are hard on the brakes. This is downhill, so you can easily overshoot this one. All the way down to second gear. I am using a bit of first gear because I was actually overshooting that corner on this particular lap, but I managed to save it. Now we are coming into the dead chicane. First we are getting up to fourth gear, and now we are going to lift a bit just to make sure the car stays stable. And you can see I am lifting a lot. I'm only focused about finding the line out of there and get back onto the power. And I got really lucky on this run. And I know it wasn't perfect, but this is the closest I've been to the ghost at this point. And now we've got the 150 board, brake dead on that one. And we are seeking towards the inside, getting down to second gear. make sure the car is stable. I'm coasting around the corner. Make sure you have some grip before you get on the power. If the car is still sliding a bit, you will just get wheel spin and will ruin your run towards the finish line. But we are going to go across the line in a 1:54.509. So now we are at least not as far off the top time. We are roughly 1.5 seconds off, and now let's just run through my lap in chase cam, and I'm not going to pause it along the way, so we can just watch along. So coming up to the 200 board, but braking shortly after that, getting down to second gear, cutting a bit of that, or a big chunk of that, but not cutting that right hand side curb. Short shifting up to third gear. Now we are lifting, and if you're going to cut this, make sure you cut it a lot, otherwise you'll hit that bump on the curb and the car will go flying. Down to second gear, coasting in, but getting back on the power as early as I can, so you get a good run up the hill. And now we are looking for the right hand side barrier, and I am really being careful when I'm downshifting to third gear and also lifting off the brake. I got sideways many times on that part, and now we're just keeping it flat. And if you are going on that right hand side curb, just stay on it until the end. If you try to come off it, then the car will spin. Braking at the 200 board, and yeah, you can see slightly missing that apex, so I was getting a bit too brave down the hill into that corner. Now for the death chicane, we are up to fourth gear. Now we're going to lift, just trying to get the car stable so we can get back on the power out of the chicane. And that was really close to the walls, but that is the way it has to be done. But it is rather scary. Now the 150 board, braking dead on that one, trying to seek towards the inside, getting down to second gear, but now trying to stabilize the car before getting fully back onto the power, and then we can power towards the finish line. So I'm glad I gave this another go. I could see that I had to find some more time compared to the top times. I don't know if I was in the risk of dropping into silver, but I was a bit further off than I would like. So this was, as mentioned, my round 2 on this time trial. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.